Welcome back to the Third Wheel Podcast, where you're the third wheel in our conversation. I am your host, Shaps, and here is my other host,
Caleb. Hey, good to see you again.
And we're also joined by our wonderful guest, Toomy.
What was that pause?
That was for dramatic. He knew what he was doing.
You need to add the drum effect in there.
Well, yes, it's me. Hello there.
Yeah.
We had such a great time last time. We said, let's do it again. It does my heart good when we get so far ahead in how many episodes we have. So now we can take a 6-week vacation now and not even have to worry about it.
And not get paid.
Yeah, that's great. So, all right. I thought it'd be fun. Agree to disagree with me if you want. But I was like, let's do this. Let's read some hate mail today.
Oh, we're starting off with the hate mail, are we?
I say so.
Okay, cool.
How do you now, Toomy? I apologize. We have to put you in the thick of it. All you thought you were doing was just hopping on our friendly little show, but now you're straight into the crosshairs and the crossfire.
No, here's what your job is. You're going to tell us whether or not their hate mail is accurate.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you heard all the episodes yet, Toomy? Or do you just pick which ones you want to hear?
No, I listened to them all.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So yeah, you can be like, oh yeah, he's right. Okay.
That's
all right.
so you. I was the one who actually wrote that mail.
Yeah. So most of y'all know, I probably won't post as many after this episode coming up, but I usually try to do 3 a day. But that's just so much work; it's so exhausting. Yeah. And when I post, I'm like, yeah, I'm not 100% happy.
You're talking
with
about
them.
shorts.
Yeah, like quantity over quality. So I'm just gonna make as many quality ones as I can, and then not worry about the rest of it, and just post what I got. So. Yeah, we hit 43 subscribers. I'm like, that's pretty good for a crappy little podcast that only X amount of people listen to. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And we're already, this is episode 25, I believe, unless something comes up. But I'm excited that, we're halfway through the year. We've been consistent with it. Like, we haven't had any major snafus, no hiccups, nothing. So, I mean, short-term goals 50 and then just keep going. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. But, all right. As I post on TikTok and as I post on YouTube Shorts, every now and then we'll catch the algorithm and we'll hit like 1.4K views. None of them subscribe, but, that's cool. But every now and then someone will chime in and just sit here and be like, okay, here's how I really feel about your show.
Yeah, here's what you need to do.
So we have one on TikTok coming from Michael. I'm not going to say his last name because in case we blow up, I don't want anyone to harass him.
Sure, but you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are, Michael. God,
we're coming.
Make me sick.
Which is funny because I have like 3 friends named Michael, so.
Well, actually, that's the newer one. Let's go back to the older one. This is from Rashid. Okay, once again, he put his last name in it, so I'm not going to put it on there. He says, now, this is the Darcy episode where she's on and we're talking about dating advice, I think. Oh. And he comments, who are you people, and why do you think anyone wants to hear anything you say?
Because people actually ask this.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I took that one to heart. It kind of hurt.
I would have liked if you just left it at, who are you guys?
Yeah, who are you people?
Wait, who?
No, that's Rashid. I want to tell you, that's a good question. I ask myself that all the time. Who am I? And maybe I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading it out of context.
You're reading way too into it.
Yeah, he didn't mean it the way I took it. He was just like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Huh, that's a good question."
No, I'm
Rashid.
pretty sure he meant it the mean way.
Oh.
I mean, it's nice of you to.
Absolutely.
No,
I'm joking.
He probably was like.
He was totally trying to be a douche.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Nah, whatever. I mean, people said we think you guys be good on podcasts. We'd like to hear what you have to say. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Nothing much to that,
Well, here's the thing. He saw the short, and he clicked on it. So why are you mad at me?
You know what? He listened to the whole thing. And
yeah, he did.
He probably listened to it again.
Yeah,
right.
A couple times.
You've actually seen him more. You've seen Caleb more than I do. Usually.
Yeah.
Just over and over and over.
Yeah, because you don't even. I don't even think you have the login to get onto the YouTube thing.
No. So you probably see all these shorts. I haven't watched the shorts.
Right? Yeah, I'm not subscribed, by the way, to my own podcast. That'd be weird. Just artificially inflate the numbers.
Yeah, once you do that.
And it would only be one. But those people that buy views. Isn't that weird?
Or bot subs. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is like if you buy your views, like if nobody does it, if nobody watches it. If you buy your views and, like, I don't know, like, let's just say let's say you boost your video and nobody wants to watch it, you know, they boost it, they promote it, and still nobody clicks on it. Like, they're going to have to fill that number somehow with bots. And it's like, ugh, that's just not worth it. So, yeah, I would never buy views. And
it's just good to know that the only reason you haven't done it is because it's not worth it. It's just not worth the investment.
Yeah, I mean, if it was that simple where it's like, oh, you're guaranteed 50 real people subscribers, oh, heck yeah. I'll cough up to $20. I don't care. All right. Next hate mail. This comes from Michael off of TikTok. Yeah. Okay, this again, it's another one of our Darcy clips. Okay. Now, I'm upset because it was...
Are you saying I didn't get any hate mail?
No.
That's fantastic.
No, most of the hate mail you get is directed at me.
Wow.
Which is like, that's pretty cool. I'll take that, you know?
Sweet. This Chef's guy's cool, but this guy,
I don't know. Yeah, like I said last episode, when you were gone, people missed you.
Oh, I miss you guys too.
Yeah. Yep.
That's going into TikTok.
It has to be. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So, all right, Michael. Now he went a little early on this, right? Because the very next video I thought was like one of our best ones. Didn't catch the algorithm though, so it only got like the normal amount of views it normally gets. But he says, God, why does everyone think they need a podcast? No one gives a I'm like, wow.
Got ourselves a real critic over here.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Well, I want to ask you, Michael, what are you doing with your life? You know? Like,
no, my question is, how did he find us?
Right.
You know, like if he's looking, obviously he's not looking for randos doing podcasts, but it kind of sounds like he did because like he just randomly found this podcast. And he was like, I'm going to watch this one actively. And were you already expecting it to be bad? Like, did you already want to leave a mean comment? Or did you actually listen to us as here, you know?
That's the thing. But we get some good stuff, too. I ain't going to lie to you. So some of our online dating stuff got some good feedback.
Yeah, and actually, those were good episodes. I like that.
Yeah, and we still got, and I'm about to air the last one. The Darcy series was a 3-parter. Yeah. And then I haven't announced it yet, really, but we're also working on a spinoff show. We got the first few episodes of that done. Those will probably air, though, before this episode does. Mm-hmm. But we're working on that, and that's not going to come out every week because it's too much. But I'm excited for all that stuff. I enjoyed making those, and I also really appreciate the fact that I have dating experience to pull from now. Because up until I was 24, I hadn't dated anybody, and I don't even think anyone was really interested, you know. And I'm glad to be in a point now where it's like I broke out of that nice guy mentality, and I'm very proud of that. So
now he's a mean guy.
Yeah. When I say nice guy, I'm not saying I'm a douche now, but I'm saying more so like I'm not the guy that's too shy when he goes to a club or he goes to a social setting. He's a weird guy that stands there and just with a big old grin because he doesn't know how to talk to people. You know, I used to be that guy that picks a corner and hides in it. You know, but not anymore. And I'm glad I can make those episodes. I'm glad I can have a girl best friend and not have to be like, okay, so like, are we dating now or what? You know, I can have a girl friend.
You just sparked so many fanfics. Good job. Caleb.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, if we ever got big and someone uses ChatGPT to write a spicy novel. But like, I'm very happy that I can have girl friends now without it being weird where I'm not, because it used to be like if I was just talking to a girl for fun, I'm sitting here in the back of my mind, oh, I wonder if she likes me. Oh, I should ask her out. Like, I don't do that anymore. Like, I'm confident in myself and who I am, and you know, I've been able to take the women off the pedestal. So, you know, I enjoy those episodes. So back to you, Michael. If you don't like it, you didn't have to watch it. So go somewhere else.
No one forced you to watch it. No one forced you to leave that comment.
Yeah, I'm very proud of who I am now. And I think y'all are too, because, you know, I think we've all made some growth since I met y'all.
I'm very proud of you, Caleb.
Oh, thank you.
I'm also not as proud, but
yeah, and I'm proud of y'all. Like, I met Shaps 3 years ago. Things are good. Met Toomy 3 years ago as well. So actually, Shaps, I think yours is more like 4 years now.
Yeah, it was maybe 4 now.
Yeah. So yeah, and we've all grown together, and it's been great. So Michael, I wish you the best of luck.
Honestly,
but
God bless you, Michael.
Yeah, God bless you. And like, you know what? Send more hate mail. That was fun to do.
Honestly,
you know, this section was cut short because we only had 2. Come on, y'all can do better than that.
Michael, get your friends together. Really go at us.
Start
a whole hate party.
Just dox us already.
Have a hate watch party. You know, I'm upset. There, y'all know this couple. I'm not gonna say any names, but they were talking about watching our show as like a date night. And then I was like, oh, and then they broke up. I was like, dang it. I was almost someone's date night, bro.
As a date night?
Yeah, they were going to watch our show. Because, like, I'm real close with them. You know, sure. I'm sure they want to see it. But now they're not together anymore. And I was like, boo.
What couples will watch your podcast now?
Nobody. That was a date night. Oh. Hey, if we ever blow up, it could happen. All right, guys. We got a good episode for you today. We got the goldfish. I'm excited, but that's going to be at the end. Now, we're going to talk more about video games. I enjoyed the last discussion about it, going down a trip down memory lane. Mm-hmm. But what did y'all think? Was it nice digging up past childhood traumas and how I had to hide Assassin's Creed from my parents?
Having to negotiate with my mom about like the most trivial instances? Absolutely.
Can we talk about that for just a second?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so do y'all remember the SpongeBob episode where they get lost in the kelp forest?
Yeah.
Well, the magic conch shell, like SpongeBob's talking about it like an idol. So I had to hide that episode from my mom because if I lost SpongeBob, there was no reason for me to go on living.
Like childhood gone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And like I was so happy that Fairly Odd Parents was titled Fairly Odd Parents,
not God.
Yeah, because in the parents, it was
same thing.
Yeah,
dude.
fairy godparents. Like, oh God, oh.
Were your parents really like that? That's crazy.
Oh, no, my parents were the same way.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, my parents.
Especially my mom, but yeah.
No, my parents didn't let me read The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe because there was a witch in it. It was like, Mom, that's a Christian.
We talked about
Christian
that in a few episodes ago.
I love Star Wars more than almost anything, but like literally, there was one time when my dad watched Star Wars, and he said, "I don't know if you should watch it anymore. I don't like how the Empire like Nazis. It makes you think." You think George Lucas was into that? I'm like, what? Please, no.
It's confirmed.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I'm an adult. As a kid, I'm like, I can't argue with them. As an adult, I'd be like, okay, well then, does that mean we got to kick out all the history books?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure they're not Nazi sympathizers? You know what I mean? Or are they just recording?
No, that's the thing. When you're a kid, you're absolutely powerless when it comes to that.
Well, not even
stuff.
that. Right. I couldn't think of anything good to say.
Even if you did when you're a kid, like your parents go like, no, you're not going to do this because I said so.
I suppose.
My mom may or may not have told me that whenever a game made me frustrated, it's because evil people put spirits on them.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so here's the thing. I am a Christian, okay? Let me get that out the way. I actually am a skeptic when it comes to evil demonic attacks that people always say they had.
And stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I hear stories about people with Ouija boards, and I saw somebody levitate. Like, no, you did not. I'm sorry. Now, what I hate is when you're arguing with somebody, and they're like, well, are you saying my grandma's a liar? And I was like, no. I think 100% your grandma thinks she saw somebody levitate. I believe that she believes that, but I also think that she probably is crazy.
That's kind of my mentality. It's one of those things. It's like you hear everyone talk about it, but it's like you never actually see it,
right?
Which is not always a good reason to not believe something, but it's also one of those things that just kind of sounds so crazy and unnecessary. Like it doesn't even make any sense half the time.
They're going by the movies.
When it sounds too much like Hollywood, that's when I'm like, you lost.
Like if I'm watching, if I'm hearing them tell me that story and it sounds like I'm watching The Exorcist, then I'm just like, whatever.
So I found out that growing up, I could really get away with a lot more if I told my mom that it helped me build a relationship with my brother. So if it was either anything cooperative, then we could do anything. That was a loophole. I think my first M-rated game was Team Fortress 2.
That's M?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of bloody. And then what would have to do the regular process is my brother would have to walk her in, show her everything, and show her every possible bad thing that could happen. The one time I got, I think it's Skyrim. Everyone all my friends told me you need to get Skyrim. I was like, okay, and I actually managed to convince them to order the game. And I opened it up, got it for Christmas, and then my mom went on some forum, some website, was like, oh, a Christian reviewed this and said that it's actually very demonic because it has demons in it. You can't play this. And he made me give it away. Oh. I'm like, I was so excited.
I'm sad for you.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have anything like that, Toomy? Any story like that? Because I got one, but I'm going to ask you first. That way it's just not us two doing it.
No, I have a weird Grand Theft Auto story. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto as a kid.
Sure.
But we were hanging out with my uncle one time, and I convinced my mom to let me play Grand Theft Auto 4 while she was in the room while everyone was watching.
Dude, I hate that.
This isn't cool. And also, like, Grand Theft Auto 4 didn't start off that bad, so I was like, I'm playing this game, I'm not having fun, and my parents are watching me. Like, this sucks. Grand Theft Auto 4 sucks.
Well, actually, I will say the fourth Grand Theft Auto starts off pretty bad with the guy on the ship getting whipped by the dominatrix.
I'm pretty sure you execute someone.
I think I skipped that part.
Yeah, because you can skip that scene, but you miss the whole intro where he gets off the boat, but you just, and then you meet your cousin.
XX.
Yeah.
And your cousin starts talking about women, and it's like, oh god.
I'm sorry. Did you say the fourth one sucked?
I was being hyperbolic.
Gotcha. Okay. I was about to be like,
take that back.
Hold
it's
on.
Pretty good.
Cut.
I played it recently. I was like, oh, this is really fun.
Oh yeah. No, I actually think it's better than 5.
I like it better than 5.
Yes, but let's not. Okay.
We
can come back to that.
So there's those stories.
Oh wait, I got one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. You remember? Did you play Black Ops 1?
No, I didn't get to Call of Duty until way later.
Okay, but you played it, right, Timmy?
Oh,
you just said okay. So Black Ops 1 is actually probably, I think that's my favorite Call of Duty story-wise, and then like zombies.
I played the series. So
yeah,
it's up there for sure.
Yeah, like it's way up there. I wish really I need to go back and play 2 because it's got all the characters I love. But anyway,
really good.
So I got it for Christmas. And I opened it up, and I okay, so I don't emote that much, right? So like my face is like super like, the whole. Oh my gosh, goldfish! You know what I mean? Like that's always the face I make.
Yeah.
But we get to like that Christmas, and I got Black Ops 1 when I opened. I was so excited. I was like, yes! I'm like, my dad's happy. He did good, right? He's all excited. And then I get somehow the planets aligned. I get to play first because there was only one Xbox and there's 4 of us at the time. And I put it in. And that very first scene where Mason, he's like tied up to the chair.
Yeah.
And then like as soon as you start the story, the guy comes up, the numbers, Mason. What do they mean? And Mason's like trying to get out the chair. And he's like, F you! And as soon as he said that, my dad was like, oh,
sorry,
turn it off. And then I cried.
Oh.
And I was like, and he's,
I feel that, man.
And,
now it's literally like being told, God,
to his credit, and this is the only time I'll ever give Treyarch credit, the developers, for anything, because Call of Duty, nowadays especially, it's always been like this, but now, people only now realizing that, like, man, this game's a ripoff, right? But to his credit, he found a compromise. We found a loophole. We went into the settings and we just turned the voices off and we turned on the subtitles. Okay, so like I still got to play the game.
So you're playing as a deaf person. You can read
I didn't know. No, because it had sound effects were intact, music was intact.
Just all dialogue.
Thank you for Treyarch for separating the dialogue and turning.
Good on him for finding that compromise.
Yeah, because he was disappointed too because I was so happy and I was excited and he didn't like having to rip it from my hand. Yeah. So I'll give him credit for that. And then at Treyarch, thank you for separating the audio. because in theory, that should have been it.
I know The Sims I had a lot of trouble with because I loved The Sims growing up, but like my mom was like, oh, you can have sex in it, apparently. So like,
I swear it's called Woohoo.
Yeah, it's Woohoo, and it's like there's cartoon noises associated, and you don't see nothing, just saying, but like that was like the big one.
Okay, I can't lie to you though. They got creative with it. There's like an update now where it's like, okay, woohoo in the shower, woohoo in the bushes, woohoo in the bed.
I didn't say
woohoo everywhere.
Yeah, look, you woohoo in someone else's bed.
But I didn't even know what woohoo meant, Caleb. You don't understand. And then like the first Call of Duty game I played was Big Red One on GameCube.
Oh. Dude, Big Red One's so good.
It was really good.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Every point. Oh,
yes.
I love it. But anyway,
I'm gonna find an emulator.
It was rated T. And like my parents pulled me aside and they're like, okay, well it's rated T, so that hits the criteria. However, you need to let us know if you have any nightmares about Nazis. We're turning it off immediately if you ever have. I'm like, yeah, I totally.
Oh, I will definitely tell you if I have a nightmare about Nazis.
100%.
Yeah. No, you're right, Mom.
Mom, Dad, the Nazis.
Wait till you tell them about Nazi zombies and Black Ops.
My God. No. But no, so like I never played another Call of Duty until I was like probably 20. Then I started playing the rest of them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, let me tell you. So I just brought up zombies. I apologize if I derailed the conversation. When I was a kid, zombies was the one thing I could not look at in a scary film. I was
you didn't like them?
No, I was scared.
Wow.
I was so terrified of the concept of getting eaten by something with no soul, dead. And then the way my dad described it to me too, he said, imagine like the bite mark is like taking a bite out of a burger and it leaves a big hole in you. And I just pictured that in my arm.
He was like, I was there.
Yeah, and I was like, that was terrifying. And then there was this old video store. When I was in Minnesota, I wanted to find it, but I couldn't remember what it was called. And they're probably closed. There was a VHS store. But when you walk in, there's the big, gigantic Dawn of the Dead poster. It's huge. It takes up the whole wall, and it's a creepy one where all the silhouettes are walking at you.
Yeah.
And it terrified me because it was zombies, and I couldn't do anything zombies. Nowadays, those are like my favorites.
Right. Yeah.
But back then, I was like, so whenever we went to that theater, that movie store, I had to like look to my left, the opposite wall, and walk in.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's like a childhood trauma story for me. But I'm a different man now.
Kind of a traumatizing story for me. I really, I just never really got into horror stuff. I just never liked it. Anything even like the freaking Halloween specials of like Disney Channel episodes. Like I couldn't handle it, legitimately. Which is weird because there was a Zack and Cody. Oh, I forgot about this. There was a Zack and Cody episode, the Halloween episode, where like they're in a haunted mansion or whatever, or hotel room or something. And then like one of the pictures, they walk into a room and a picture like winks at them, and I got super super scared. And then my mom told my siblings that they couldn't watch it either, and they got super mad at me. Oh. So I was like shamed and also terrified.
I would shame me if you got something ripped from me.
There was actually, have you ever seen The Black Hole by Disney? Mm-mm. Super old sci-fi movie from like the 80s, and it was like one of those really weird artsy films. It's about a bunch of people who go like on a space station, they get sucked up by a black hole, but the black hole is actually hell, and they don't tell you that until the very end. So I just like thought
Disney. Oh my gosh!
Yes, no.
Those old school Disney Channel movies.
It gets freaking dark. So I thought it was like gonna be a normal sci-fi film. I was getting kind of bored, but then like at the very end, the main villain gets sucked up in a black hole and it goes like actual hell, and they show hell. I'm like, oh my god. So I was terrified of black holes. And then I went to a planetarium like the next week or so. And like literally I was just like scared to go to the planetarium because like, they're going to have a black hole there. Yeah. In case black holes in this game, I'm going to get hell. No, you can't do that.
Boy, I'm so glad you never watched Event Horizon.
Way later, I've seen that. But
yeah. Because that's literally what you're describing to me.
And then like I played Doom later on. I'm like, man, this would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Give me a double barrel shotgun.
What about you, Toomy? Do you have
the best Christian game ever made?
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, heck yeah. Doom Guy is my savior.
Yeah, you Toomy.
Yeah, childhood trauma
like
stories.
Movies.
Yeah, anything.
Movies
or
Didn't
TV shows or something like that,
or a poster like
or
me.
A poster.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shit, I'm trying to think because to this day I'm a little freaked out by snakes, but I've never. There was one time I tried to watch snakes on a plane by myself, and as we all know,
all the films.
That's how much I.
Really?
That's how much snakes freak me out.
They're all CG'd.
And they look bad, too. But
so Indiana Jones, you can't watch that?
I watched the first 3. I think they're great, but
that's all you need.
I scream and wince every time I see the snake. Like,
You know what's interesting? There was actually, believe it or not, a commercial that actually put me into like shock one time. It was weird. My parents weren't around. I was the only one in my house. And on the TV, there was like a commercial that came on. It looked like a regular, like, stupid ad, like, background noise. And it was like this woman who like met a man, and they were like getting along. They were like dating or whatever. And he was like, "Okay, I'll see you later." Then he leaves, and then like the music cuts out. She looks over at her glass door, outside, and the guy's standing there. And she's like, "Mark," and he breaks the glass, and it's super loud. And then like the alarm goes off, and it's a freaking ad about like security cameras or something. But it like literally terrified me.
Yeah.
To like I literally couldn't move for like an hour.
Yeah.
Like I was in shock. I was like, oh my god. Like I don't even know what it was. Like it's just like because I was home alone, it like sent me into like this panic mode. Mm-hmm. But like, dude, like when you're younger, like just anything can set you off. You don't really know why. It just does. Now obviously that was like scary because you're relating it to your own situation, but like ever since then, or not ever since then, but like for the longest time, I hated being on the couch like alone because I always felt like there was gonna be someone who was just like grab me from behind. Like so, I actually to this day hate anything that's like behind me. So whenever I'm sitting down somewhere, I have to be in a corner where I can look at the entrance and any exit, like any way into the room. I don't know if it's because of that, but like literally just like that's how I've been since. So like if anyone's behind me, I actually get super uncomfortable. I start twitching a little bit, and I have to like move into a different location. So like. I don't know if it's because of that, but like it really did start around that time. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another funny story.
Yeah,
if we got time. All right, so this is back in 2011, and I was playing Mortal Kombat at the time.
Nice.
And this was at the dead of midnight, and they have this thing called the Crypt where you get all the collectibles, and if you spend a certain amount of time in there, and then you spend a certain amount of coins or whatever, you get a jump scare. Out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is like
no way.
The dead of midnight. And then this jump scare of this little demon that pops up.
He's like,
0.5. Yeah. And then I'm so scared. Like, I'm in my room. I run out of my room.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I didn't play that game for like a week.
Poor little Toomy.
I was 17 at the time, so not little.
Oh God. Never mind.
No, okay. I think a lot of people, if we ever get a big audience, I think a lot of people could relate to this. So, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Do you know where this is going?
Oh, I know where this is going.
So, King Ramses' curse, that full episode scared the crap out of me because up until then, like, it was an unsettling show, obviously, but that episode with the voice and the animation and then like the build up to it, I just wasn't expecting it, and it terrified me because you'll never get a close up of his face either because I don't know if that was
he's off in the distance, probably due to limitations or something, but like
or it was either limitations or a stylistic design choice because
that's the only episode I saw.
Really?
Right. Yeah. So let's see. I can't remember when it came out, but I think it had to have been like 5 or 6, right? And I'm sitting here. I'm watching Courage normally. You know, I'm not worried about it. It's a show I've watched 1,000 times up until this episode. And the very first time I see it, it just pops on screen, and I am scared. My mom's in the other room working from home. You know, back before it was cool, right? She was like working from home, and I run to her room, and I had it turned up so loud to where his voice is following me to my mom's room. I'm like, Mom, like pounding on the door, just going like, and then she comes out, and she's holding me, and then she's like, working to the remote to change the channel or turn it off. You know what I mean? And then ever since that, like it had to have been at least another decade before I could watch that episode.
That's funny because it looks so cheap. Like
it does.
Nowadays it looks like, oh wow, that's stupid. But like a lot of kids had that same experience, which is interesting.
And I had to ease my way into it too. Like I got closer to being an adult, and I had to watch videos of people reviewing it, and they all agreed with me. Like that thing was terrifying. You know, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm not alone. And then I eased my way back into that episode and watched it. You know, but
have you ever seen Brave Little Toaster?
Yeah. Well, hold on. I want to add.
There's like 3 movies.
It was the first one.
I wanted to add one more thing. No, you're good. So, did y'all see Scooby Doo and the Alien Invaders?
Wasn't allowed to watch Scooby Doo. So.
What?
I could watch Scooby Doo.
Oh, did no.
Yeah, you did. You watched the crossover with Courage with me.
No, that's what I said. I could watch Scooby Doo.
Oh, good.
Like, why not Scooby Doo?
Yeah.
Because it was ghosts.
Oh,
that makes sense.
But they were never real at the end, except the zombies episode.
We would try and tell them that it didn't.
Okay, well,
we're allowed to watch Kids Next Door or Ed, Edd n Eddy.
I couldn't watch anything with real people. So Drake and Josh, nope.
What? Oh, we could watch Drake and Josh, but we couldn't watch any like stupid cartoons.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
We were Friend Stimpy, which was basically an adult show.
That was for kids.
That was not good.
My mom my mom just laughed at it, I guess, but like no, it was bad.
Well, there's a point in Ren and Stimpy where Stimpy's like crappy, and I was like, I thought it was over.
Couldn't say crap.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
He freaking strangles one. Like,
but
Stimpy one time.
There's Scooby Doo and the Alien Invaders, and when you pop in the VHS for that, we get it at Blockbuster, right? Back when that was the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you pop it in and they say, oh, bonus episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I was like, okay. Well, nice. as long as it's not the King Ramsey episode.
Yeah.
You know, and lo and behold, guess what episode they picked? I'm not even joking. I bet
that was like...
I was pissed. I was like, dang it! And then I had to be mindful that, like, anytime we watched the movie... I had to make sure we didn't fall asleep and accidentally like wake up during the episode.
You're just gonna rip that part of the tape off. No, I'm gonna save people from this.
I'm like, get the magnet. It won't hurt anyone else anymore.
Well, there was a point too. That's funny. There was a point too where everyone else wanted to watch it except me, so I had to go out. I had to leave the room.
They're like,
and mom with the other 3 children are all snuggled up on the motel bed, and I have to listen to it from outside the door.
Oh man,
you know,
that's funny.
They're muffled.
But now you can't even keep me away from horror stuff. So if I'm scared, then I'm impressed by the movie.
No, I found to be like, I actually don't like scary stuff. I really love creepy stuff though. Anything that's like eerie or unsettling, like I love that stuff.
So something like Mr. Nightmare, which we brought up before.
I watch Mr. Nightmare all the freaking time.
Yeah.
But like anything that has cheap jump scares or just like that kind of stuff, like I don't know, it feels wrong or not wrong. Sorry, weird. You know, like it feels like I can't take it. But then, like, I can go in real life. I can go to haunted houses and not get scared. It's really weird. Whenever it gets like creepy atmosphere, like I love the idea of walking around an empty house, like an empty house. I would love to do that.
I'm thinking about that Easter show you brought up, and I'm really hoping that like they'll do a Friday the 13th version of that
where
Easter show.
Where they crucified Jason.
They crucified Jason for your sins. Yeah.
They put him in the water.
Shout out to whatever episode that was. So.
The Easter episode. Yeah. So real quick though.
Yeah, Brave Little Toaster. Yeah, let's talk about that.
That was a great film we watched all the time growing up, but there was one scene that was absolutely terrifying. I had to skip it all the time. And it was the clown scene. It's actually why I was scared clowns or something. Do you remember this?
No. So I've never seen a full Brave Little Toaster movie because there's like 20 of them, right? This.
He has a nightmare. Brave Little Toaster has a nightmare. And he's like playing with his owner, kind of like a Toy Story nightmare kind of thing. And then like the owner gets like grabbed by this big puff of smoke. And like this room starts to burn, like it starts to like light on fire. I'm like, they're already capturing nightmares really well.
Yeah.
And so like then like he goes after his owner, but then like the door slams, and then like utensils, like silver utensils, like start flying at him, and then like there's this creepy clown with like a fireman's uniform and a giant smile, and he's spraying water at the toaster, which would kill him, literally kill him. He's trying to kill him, and then he's like, oh my god, and then the clown says, run. And he's like running for his life, and then it cuts, and he's dangling for his life over a bathtub with water, and the clown's laughing.
Oh, goodness.
Laughing. He falls and he dies. I'm like, in the dream, I'm like, oh my god.
That sounds terrifying. And I love clowns.
Yeah. And then like I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I was like, these are not the same clowns.
Yeah.
They have nothing.
This is not the same.
Not my clowns.
Brave Little Toaster did it right.
Not my clowns.
I get Brave Little Toaster mixed up with that stupid little engine that could...
a little bit.
And then, you know what?
That makes sense, but
I love his motto. I think I can, and that's I say that all the time.
Is that what you say whenever you get a mean comment? I think I can. I think I can.
No. I say that whenever someone says, "Can you take care of this for me?" When someone tries to give me responsibility.
This is very simple. Can you please?
I think I can. Or sometimes like I'll think about it.
I think about it. I think about it. That's funny.
So, you have anything else to add to that, Toomy?
No, I think I'm good.
Trauma, isn't it funny?
Yeah, that already killed like 30 minutes. And I know I always say that and then I have to edit out like 4 minutes of stuff. But, all right, you want to talk about movie remakes?
Yeah.
Or video game adaptations?
Yeah, kind of. I won't really focus on the movies because, like, most people can agree, whenever a video game remake is announced, everyone loses their mind. They're like, oh my gosh, my favorite video game, holy crap, can't wait to play, can't wait to redo everything just exactly the way it was, Which is usually always successful. It's always gold, whenever someone remakes or remasters a game. Movies, on the other hand, for whatever reason, there's a lot of hate that comes attached to it, more often than not, I would say. For instance, like, just like those, there's like cheap remakes, and then there's remakes like freaking The Mummy. How they remade The Mummy, and everyone like hated it, or they remade Jurassic Park, and like a lot of people liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it, And there's just like remake after remake after remake, and then Disney is remaking all their movies, all their main movies, live action. Everyone kind of grunts whenever they hear one now, but like. I wonder why, that love and excitement doesn't transfer over to movies and like TV shows. I just read that they're re-releasing or they're remaking the Avatar series, Last Airbender, on Netflix live action. A lot of people aren't excited about that. And to me, I'm like, well, why is that? I wonder why people are way more conservative about preserving the original movies and TV shows, not so much video games. It's really interesting.
It's tough because people are hard to please, first off.
Yeah.
So... think about, so there was a weird point in 2015 and a little bit of 2016, but mainly 2015. They were just remaking. Yeah. They were remaking, so think of the Poltergeist remake.
Yeah.
Okay. Same concept. It's the same movie.
Yeah, people get mad, though, when it is the same. They either get mad if it's nothing like it, or they get mad if it's exactly
and that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So Poltergeist was the same exact movie, but when you make changes, people are like, okay, why would you change that? It was perfect the way it was. What do you think, Timmy? Any thoughts?
Yeah, you're kind of right about that. It is a catch-22 in some sense. It's like, we want it the same, but different. It's like,
and that's how it goes with... Okay, the only person who can do a good live action remake of a cartoon, at least so far that I've seen, is Jon Favreau. Now, granted, I haven't seen all the live action remakes of the Disney movies, but did y'all see Jungle Book? What he did with that?
I heard
it was fan freaking tastic, and he changed the ending. He changed all sorts of stuff to it. He made it his own thing while still keeping the spirit of the original.
Right.
Okay, but then of course you get to Lion King, and I think that the reason he got away with it in Jungle Book, changing stuff, was because it's like a lesser known movie. It's nobody's favorite movie. You get to Lion King, you can't change anything. Otherwise, you're messing with the perfect formula.
Right, but people still were like, "Man, it's just the Lion King. Why would I go see it?" But you did anyway. Yeah. But like,
well, not me.
But then, like when they remake a game, like say, I don't know, I'm blanking right now.
Well, okay, here's why it works with video games so well. Is because you take a game that's got the foundation, the gameplay, the combat, the story. It's so good, but it's very dated graphics. It looks bad, but if you remake it to where it looks great, like for a current generation, but you keep all the same aspects of it, then you've made a game people want to play.
But it sounds the same for movies. It sounds theoretically that sounds like the exact same formula.
With movies, you're sitting there watching. You have to sit down for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and chill and watch. You got to stare. If I'm staring at the same thing I already stared at 10 years ago, I'm a little less inclined to be enjoying it.
I guess, but I also know there are some remake movies, that were really successful. Dune, for instance, a lot of people really love Dune, and the original actually wasn't too good, or not well received, I would say, as the remake is.
Well, Dune relies on good CGI, and it needs good effects to capture what the book was trying to show you. Yeah. The reason the first one wasn't received so well was because the effects looked terrible, and then two, let me see. I don't think it really just captured the heart of the story. Whereas the remake, we got the money now, we got the technology to make all those cool visuals. Sure. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. So I would say for that instance, there was already an attempt to adapt it, and it was terrible. To whereas now you're adapting it, but you can make it good. Yeah.
So are you saying that if the source material was bad and they just redo it and tweak it and make it good, that's what makes a successful remake? In terms of movies?
It can, if it does well
but then
commercially.
You can argue something like Last of Us. Yeah. Last of Us came out, like the original game, came out kind of recently by remake standards, and they just remade it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first game. And the first game already looks
Wait, are you talking about the ports to PS4 and PS5?
No, they remade the first one, part 1.
Right.
Yeah.
They legitimately remade it.
To PS5.
Yeah, that's what you mean.
So, yeah. Well, not the port. I'm not talking about like a port to the.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, so that's a game you can remaster a little bit and make it look better. I get that.
But like it already kind of looked good.
Oh no, it looked great.
I don't think it ever looked bad.
No.
Even
so
to
like,
today's standard.
but like they didn't just remaster the graphics. They literally like built a game from the ground up, just to mimic the first one. And a lot of people were kind of questioning that, or a little curious about that. Like why? But everyone loved it still.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they couldn't get away with that with a movie. Like, what if they remade a movie that was like less than 10 years old? Like,
right?
They couldn't do that.
Well. No. Again, I think it has to go to like game. A game is different because you're interacting and you're controlling and you're doing it. A movie, you're watching the same thing again that you already saw 10 years ago. No, I'm sorry, I just don't. I think it's different. I think that's part of it. At least from animation to live action, there's a little bit of an appeal there because who are they going to cast as an actor? Are they going to do the job well? Are they going to make it their own? There's a lot of stuff that can like you're actually seeing a translation as opposed to just a shot for shot remake of something. That seems like more of a cash grab, and I think that's what hurts people more. You think of I don't know if y'all saw Carrie. So they had the original Carrie, but then they remade it with Chloe Grace Moretz, and that's the version I saw. When I saw it, I liked it. Yeah. And I was like, man, that was pretty good. That was a good story. But to come to find out, I already knew it was a remake, but come to find out, it was the original, and they just did it again. So for a new generation.
One of the successful remakes was actually the It movies. I think that's because the original one wasn't even like amazing.
Right.
So
exactly.
it was actual improvement.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It had actually pretty good visuals. So.
Yeah,
I really. It's weird, but it's like a different ball game. It's kind of interesting, like how it works. And now, like people are craving like old style graphics, when it comes to video games, which is really interesting. So
they are
like retro style games, like absolutely. Like there was a Warhammer game that just came out that looks like a retro Doom shooter.
I know what you're talking about.
And people fell in love with it. It just came out like a week ago.
Oh, I know what you mean now.
Yeah. People love that, and they actually there's a famous YouTube channel that actually will remake. Modern game trailers in PS1 style graphics.
I've seen that too.
Loves that stuff. Yeah. And those are good stuff. So like people really crave that kind of stuff, which is interesting.
I saw someone did God of War 5 as a PS1 game. People like, you're right.
The Halo Infinite one was really funny because it was like Banjo-Kazooie, like old style, rareware. I was like, that's funny. But like people love it, and they would play the entire game just like that. Like no deviation or anything. So it's interesting.
I'd play that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would play that too. Yeah. They did like Bloodborne PS1 graphics. I'm like, that looks amazing, dude. Like
that looks fun.
I would totally do that. Yeah. So it's a weird like double standard, I feel like, when it comes to movies. But that being said, what is a remake of a movie you really like that you think would be really successful? Not just something you would really want to see, but something you think would actually be really successful, could be improved on. Or a TV show, but like, really trying to stick with movies here.
I'm going to go ahead and take 20 minutes to deliberate. That'll fill in the rest of this episode.
Sure.
Let me think. I don't know, because there's stuff that any remake coming out, I don't think there's a franchise that I'm sitting here like, man, that needs a remake. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if the old one was good, I usually just don't want to get away from that.
Well, I'm saying like one that could use one, like one that actually was like okay, but like could be better with updated, animation, like Dune, for instance. What could really benefit from a remake?
I don't know, because like anything that was really good, I would say shouldn't be remade.
Sure.
So that to me, it's almost the question is like asking me to divide by 0 on a calculator.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking for good movies. I'm asking about what movie was okay but could benefit.
I don't know
from a remake.
Because like when I've already seen a bad version of it or an okay version of it, I'm sitting here like maybe they should have just not made this to begin with.
Right.
I wouldn't even bother with like, let's remake it.
Like, we don't need another one of those.
Like, how about we just not do it to begin with? I would love a remake of The Thing. And I'm talking about the horror movie with Kurt Russell, John Carpenter, all that stuff, all those people attached to it. They made a remake. They made a prequel, and they shot a lot of it with practical effects, and then they decided to save money by chopping it down to CGI for most of it. And I liked the story of it. I liked the design choices for some of the creatures that they did, but it was bad CGI.
Yeah,
I want another movie where it's the practical stuff, but it's like same concept, same idea. I love body horror, and that's where that movie excels at. So whenever there's a movie with body horror in it, someone gets turned like The Fly.
Yeah.
What's his name turns into a fly. That looks great. I love that stuff. So I don't know, like it's tough. I don't think there is anything where I was like, that was okay. It should be remade. I was like, that was okay. They kind of just wasted my time. I don't think they should try again. I'm more of a one shot, one strike you're out type of guy.
Sure.
So I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, Toomy?
I'd kind of be interested for them to remake Die Hard to see if they could recapture that again. I don't think they would, but it'd be fascinating.
The movie really holds up nowadays.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They tried to recapture it again 4 times. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, okay, you gotta understand. I know exactly what you're gonna think when I say this. Believe me. It's one of my favorite franchises. I don't want them to do anything with it. But genuinely, I do think a Back to the Future remake could be good. I know what you're thinking.
Are you thinking different story?
Different story.
Okay.
But think about it, different time periods.
Yeah.
Like, modernize it to where it's a lot more relatable nowadays. Like, again, don't judge. I know it's a sacred franchise, one that's probably the most perfect film out there. I love Back to the Future so much. I don't want anyone to touch it because I don't trust anyone with it.
Right.
But if they were to do it, I think it could actually be pretty cool. They could do cool stuff with it, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, there's a really good time travel movie that I highly recommend to you called The Flash. Like, try.
Oh, yeah, The Flash, you said.
No.
Does it have controversy?
No. Okay, if you're saying don't redo Marty McFly's story, maybe don't even use the DeLorean.
You know how like the Ghostbusters, the last Ghostbusters movie did like a soft reboot? It's still canon, but like they moved on to a different story.
Yeah, it's not the women
That's
Ghostbusters.
what I'm talking about. That kind of stuff. I think that'd be really cool.
Okay, sidebar. I won't get too long with this. Actually, I liked the movie. I like the concept of Ghostbusters Afterlife. I still think it was a beat for beat of the original.
Really?
The only thing they cut out was the Marshmallow Man at the end.
No.
They just made sure not to do that a third time. Or actually, I'm sorry, fourth time.
Yeah.
Because Ghostbusters 1, Marshmallow Man, Ghostbusters 2, Statue of Liberty, Ghostbusters 2016, Big Marshmallow Ghost, and then but the Afterlife was actually pretty much a beat for beat of Ghostbusters 1, just without the big mascot at the end.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, I know what you mean though, the concept of it. Okay. So if they were to do a Back to the Future remake, no Marty McFly, no Doc, that like just do a different story altogether, but same idea where he's got to get back to the future. Honestly, yeah, absolutely. You can
and
do
like that. Something that's a lot more like, for instance, they could spend a lot of people are in love with the 80s now. I mean, I think it's going more 90s, but what if like that was Back to the Future? The 90s era.
No, I actually agree with that.
Seriously, like you could do a lot of really cool stuff with that, and everyone would remember, like, be able to relate to it. Because, like, here's the thing: I love the original. I can't relate to the 1950s. You know, obviously, not you know, like, but the people who saw that movie, you know, when it came out, could like. You know, even though it's when they were teenagers, but like still, it captured that memory, that nostalgic feel. You know, like imagine if they did that for the 90s. Like the 90s, there's so much craziness that you can put in that movie that sounds so wacko extreme. You know.
Well, are you Bill and Ted fan? Like Bill and
I've
Ted's
only really
Excellent
seen
Adventure?
The first one once. I thought it was okay.
What about you, Timmy?
I've never seen it.
Okay, so in Bill and Ted, they have to go. Someone from the future goes back and gives them a time machine to make them pass their history exam. Because if they fail, they can't make the music that saves the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they become a famous band that brings world peace and unites the dimensions. But they're really stupid. So anyway,
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, but you know how great? Like maybe something like that where. Let's say my son or grandson comes back and he like as we're shooting the podcast, he like knocks through the window. He's like, guys, you got to keep the show going. Your podcast unites the world. Like
and we're like,
that'd be kind of
a lot of work.
Yeah, that'd be a fun
like,
concept.
Hold on.
Well, do you think they should even do that type of story where you accidentally run into your parents, or you think they should go a completely
different way?
Yeah.
Like I think there are smart people who could pull it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I think ChatGPT could pull it off.
I don't trust production companies to handle it well.
I agree.
Like I think the talent's there. I do not think the money is there.
Yeah.
I don't think the liberty is there. They would want it to be beat for beat. They would have stupid cameos.
No, they'd have the main character would have the life preserver jacket.
Or it would be like Crocs. What are you, Crocs? Or something like that. You know, crazy like
something
that.
Cringe.
And then they would have like cameos of all the old actors like in the corner. A DeLorean. I haven't driven one of those since 1985. Stupid crap.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you.
But then like what they could really do, well actually no, would be funny if they would have to somehow incorporate 2015, I think 2015, like now though, like somehow explain why that 2015 looked so weird compared to like what it is now. Like I think you could do something really cool and funny with that, because you know like their version of 2015 looked so freaking ridiculous compared to what it actually became. I don't know, but I actually watched the film on the same day that they went to the future, which was really cool. A lot of people did that, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things you can do. It's just such a cool story. It's just such a great, you know, like family fun story that I feel like is relatable to a generation, multiple generations, which spans.
I'm with you. Going back to if you went to the 90s, like I was born in 95. But I'm with you. Like they go back to the '90s and then like something like that. Because that's a whole vibe now. It's not a vibe like the '80s. But
people are kind of growing out of the '80s. I think like '90s really is where it's going.
Our generation is obsessed with the '80s, but I'd say a generation or two they're gonna be obsessed with the '90s.
They're also getting there because like the pants are coming back. Actually, like skinny jeans are out and like you know the big. Giant jeans are back, and like some of the looks are still there. I think '90s music is getting like a somewhat of a resurgence, but like it really was like an interesting time by itself. It wasn't as interesting as the '80s, but like '90s was pretty cool.
You know, do you have anything to add to that, Timmy? I had an idea.
I would appreciate it if they go back to the 2000s because Like, we were born in the 90s. I think all of us were born in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we remember the 2000s more than
That's
the 90s.
true.
But what was the 2000s vibe?
Exactly. Like, I don't think it's... I don't even know if we can put a label on that yet.
No.
Yeah, not yet. Like, they had to wait a couple years to do that, but...
We're talking, like, peak, like, Lil Wayne, peak, like...
Dude, that would be
old
boring
people.
to me.
Yeah.
Like, 90s, for instance, okay, everyone loves putting, like... Remember how I said everyone loves the PS1 stuff?
Yeah.
Like, everyone loves vintage stuff now, like old... Cathode 2 TVs, like I'm even looking for one myself. Like everyone loves that kind of stuff, you know, like just the vintage feel like you're in a different time. That's what Back to the Future did, and it did it super well.
The 2000s, there's like you back, like, everything looks the same.
Here's the first Apple.
I feel like technology is progressing for sure, but I will say like it kind of feels stagnant from the 2000s to now.
I don't know. The only thing I really remember is the Disney Channel. Like that's just like, That was the
that was a vibe. Ned's Declassified.
Oh, SpongeBob. Oh,
yeah. I mean, like the kids of this generation. My sister's 6 and she watches SpongeBob. Yeah. So it's like, you know.
So like it's still attached to us.
Yeah.
So I don't think enough time has passed yet. But even then, like, what is memorable of the?
Well, okay, so I had a thought. Now this isn't quite what you're talking about. I just always felt like Star Wars could have benefited from getting away from the Skywalkers, from getting away from the characters we already know.
Absolutely.
Because it's such a rich idea and a rich environment to just tell your own story. But no, they got it. And I know that's been talked about to death, but it's like, it wouldn't even be considered a remake if they would just do a different story and quit worrying about connecting to stuff we know.
We even talked about that last episode. I think even on the MMO, the Old Republic, they have some of those stories are way more interesting than even like what the movies have put out.
Exactly.
And they're telling their own story. They're not tied down by anything.
Right.
I would. That's why Old Republic is actually my favorite era. Yeah. Because it's like the least talked about. It's the most interesting. Has the most going on.
There's nothing to do with.
Has nothing to do with it. Like you don't need it to do. Like Star Wars is so expensive. The idea behind it like can be put in so many different forms.
Yeah.
Think of like Star Wars Visions. You know, like the anime crossover stuff. Like even though that's not canon, but like it's really cool how like people can take the idea of Star Wars and make something so cool out of it.
Right.
Well, I'm sitting here like I think that's why I would enjoy playing something like Hogwarts Legacy because it's nothing to do with Harry Potter. It has nothing to do with Voldemort, my favorite character of all time.
That's what I said a few episodes ago. I hate when a franchise is named after one character.
Exactly.
Right.
I remember you said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think if you're gonna remake something, just steal the title, steal the concept, and then run away from everything else. Sure. And I think that probably answers your question best.
Absolutely.
Any last thoughts on that, Toomy?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, chaps?
No.
That's a
good
question.
The answer really is just like do something completely new with it.
Yeah.
Don't like lose the ideas behind it, but like really just do your own thing.
I agree. I think that's probably the best thing we could say.
Their own story, keep the charm. I think that works out the best.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, transition. This is the part everyone's been waiting for. Boom.
I don't know.
Goldfish. Old Bay goldfish.
All right.
So on the label here, it has a picture of the crab and the fish. Like this is like Old Bay seasoning for seafood, poultry, salads, and meats. Same great taste for over 75 years. That's like that's a quarter. That's like a third of how old I am.
This is my first time hearing about this.
Yeah. So Goldfish limited edition has teamed up with Old Bay seasoning and the seasoning you put on your seafood. And now it's on the snack that smiles back. I'm excited. So, you okay?
I thought it was funny.
Let me open this away from the microphone. Every time now I open Goldfish, I think about chocolate frogs. I had to watch Harry Potter 1 again. And I like how the chocolate frogs, like, hop away from you.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the goldfish trying to, like, flop away from you.
Or swim away.
Yeah. Can I pour it here, or do y'all want it in your hands?
All right. You know me.
I like the way you think. Here we go, guys.
Ooh, yeah.
Is goldfish anybody's favorite snack?
Not my favorite, but I love goldfish.
I do love goldfish. Like that's.
I mean, it feels like a kid's snack, but like whatever. Yeah. I still like it.
Yeah. Does anyone have a favorite flavor that's ever come out so far?
I really just like the cheddar.
Yeah.
Classic cheddar.
They had a pizza flavor.
I think so.
They did. It was good, but like still, I really like the cheddar one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this down here because I don't want it on my hands. I'm not worried about eating off a table, but. Okay, the colored ones is basically cheddar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Bold, the bold flavor. Is that what it's called? Bold?
I've heard bold before.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you what it is.
Sounds familiar.
Or extreme?
That's like the hot
flavor blasting.
Yeah.
The flavor blasting ones.
There were the rainbow ones that everyone... my mom always got the rainbow ones. I didn't like the rainbow ones.
I hate the flavor blasting because it's just so messy.
Yeah.
And like it tastes okay, but you know.
I think it's all over your hands. You know?
Yeah. White cheddar. They had a white cheddar too. Good. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck finding that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here we go. Old Bay seasoning. Wait, I'm sorry, one more question. Was there ever a weird flavor of goldfish?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure there were.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around forever.
The Spider-Verse goldfish. They're all mutated.
Red Whopper. All right, go ahead.
They smell good. They smell really good.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. They smell like Old Bay seasoning. Mm-hmm. Now my hopes are up. Right. Oh, did you already try it?
I thought we were doing
You didn't count down.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, synchronize.
It tastes like the seasoning you would get at Joe's Crab Shack on your crabs. It does taste like seafood seasoning, like Cajun.
I kind of wish it was a little bit more spicier.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's a hint.
Like, I get where they're going with it, but man, if it was just like a hint more spicier.
Yeah. It feels like it's under seasoned.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, just be generous. Like, pour that bad boy on there.
Just dump the whole Old Bay container in the bag, shake it up.
Dump the goldfish into Old Bay.
Wait, I got a question. Does anyone know how they get seasoning to stick on a cracker?
They probably use some sort of adhesive.
I would say they just spray it with water and then sprinkle it on and then let it dry. I don't know. Because I think about it, like, the way it's, like, loosely on here, you think if I could go like that, it would all fall off, but it sticks. Yeah.
Like some of they dump it into, like, dough or whatever. However baking works.
It's probably gluten or something.
But it would be on the inside of the cracker, too.
Yeah.
Not on the outside.
I don't know.
Alright, on the goldfish scale, I like it better than Colors. I like it better than Flavor Blasted. But is cheddar still your favorite?
Yeah. By far.
I don't know.
That's weird.
I feel like this might be better tasting than the regular stuff.
This one's good, but I'm like...
Yeah, it's good. It's not like Peeps flavored Pepsi where my mind was blown. But I still listen to that episode a lot.
Oh.
That's a good one. Such a feel-good episode.
Uh-huh.
We're like, stay off of Twitter, haha, and then we finish it off with a surprisingly good beverage. What do you think, Timmy? Where does this rank on your goldfish tier list?
I'll put it up there with pizza. This is pretty good.
I hate how messy the pizza one is. It was really good, but like...
Do they still make the pizza? I haven't seen it in forever.
It's probably the first time I've had goldfish in like 5 years.
Same.
No, I'm not a huge snack guy, but like I kind of snack on cheese. It's more.
That makes sense.
I'm the biggest snack guy there is.
Really?
You can't stop me.
That's the problem. Like, it's not that I don't like snacks, that I eat too much of it.
Are you the type of guy that doesn't keep Oreos in the house because you'll just eat them?
No, I do not keep Oreos in the house for that very reason, especially the thin ones. My gosh. No, so here's the thing. Like, the way I think, like if I need to think about something, I will pace, and then chewing. So pacing and chewing, that's like the most efficient, way I can think about something. So like, I really just like keep on eating without even thinking about it, which is bad. So that's why I really don't keep that many snacks.
I ain't gonna lie to you. This grows on me so much more as I eat them. I actually think I would eat these over the original.
I need to try the original again, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just that seasoning really just like kicks after a while.
It does.
You got to eat more than one, which
it's a good aftertaste, honestly.
Yeah. I actually might put this like as one of my favorite flavors, if not right now my favorite.
I was definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, actually this bag's been on the shelf for quite a while because I decided to go on a diet. So, yep, I definitely can't buy more of these because I'm gonna eat them all.
How many pieces do you think there are per serving?
Well, that's a good question.
No.
Let's go with 18.
18 servings?
Higher?
No, 18 pieces
per serving.
No, you're way off.
Really?
Higher?
Way higher.
34. Higher?
Higher.
52.
You're close.
Oh, what?
54.
Very close.
53. 56.
No.
50.
No. How'd you miss it?
51?
No.
2.
50. 55.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 55.
55. Good one. First try.
Let's edit that part out. 55 pieces.
That's 55 pieces per serving. It's only 104 calories for that.
No way.
Interesting.
I'm about to tear these up.
Right,
why are you keeping off these during your diet? Why are you keeping off them during your diet?
Yeah.
These are good stuff. We could have had this earlier.
I know.
Have you guys ever seen the commercial of goldfish where these NBA players are putting goldfish in their hands and like, here, try some? It's like, no, thank you.
No.
No, this guy has like really big hands. So his name's Boban. He used to play for the Dallas Mavericks, but I forgot where he got traded to. But very huge individual.
Does he have all 55 pieces in his hands?
Yes.
He has fire serving.
The whole bag.
That feels like it's probably a whole bag. How many are in it?
No, 55 pieces.
6 servings per container.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh.
Holy cow. I'll be double dog darned.
Dude.
That's some...
Yeah. Luckily, I've been saving all my calories for today. We're doing Father's Day as well. This will air way past that, so sorry this is outdated.
I'm kind of doing on a diet, but like today, my dad has free Rangers tickets to the the buffet as well.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
all right, never mind.
Screw that.
I'm gonna
You'll
eat.
count calories tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're at the hour point. I hope y'all enjoyed today's discussion. Did you have fun, Timmy?
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Anytime, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want us on your gaming channel, potentially.
Yeah, we'll do the crossover episode reunion special. All right, guys.
I get to that.
Yeah, I mean, I know you got a lot of stuff you're doing, but all right, guys. I hope y'all have a great week, and we will see y'all next time. Say bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you.